94.3, the Ox on your Monday ride. 8:30 now, and it's time for Coffee Talk, brought to you by the Comanche Chamber of Commerce and Agriculture. Check them out at hashtag Explore Comanche, Texas. As we say, good morning and welcome into the studio. Cynthia Newton with Hope Counseling.
Good morning.
How we doing?
We are just peachy. Monday morning.
I'm not
July
buying it.
is halfway over.
Good.
Does that mean the temperatures are going to go down?
No, probably not until like October, the way things are looking.
Oh, I was hoping.
Maybe November. I don't know. It ain't looking good. It just keeps getting worse.
Need to move up north.
It's hot up there, too.
It's not this hot.
Well, no, it's true. Not quite, but hot enough for them.
True. Very true. Very true. So, this morning I want to talk about something that we're seeing more and more. It might be a little bit, I don't know, on people's minds having dealt with this as well. But I want to actually talk about fentanyl and fentanyl awareness.
Okay.
And we're seeing fentanyl all over the place, and it's scary.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. This is something that's scary. It's scary to me as a parent. It's scary to me as a professional. It's scary to your medical professionals. I mean, this is a scary drug, just because of the way it works on the system. So, first and foremost, we realize that it's rapidly on the rise and has been for many years now. Although you may have heard of a drug called fentanyl, what you may not know is that it has contaminated just about any street drug out there today. Okay? So, everything, I mean, almost everything has fentanyl in it. And that's even scarier when you look at the street drugs.
Sure.
So let's look at the basics. Fentanyl is a powerful opioid that is made in labs. So powerful, in fact, that it is 50 times stronger than heroin, 100 times stronger than morphine.
Wow.
Even if someone is an experienced opioid user, buying street drugs could still lead to overdoses if the drug is cut with too much fentanyl. Those who overdose on fentanyl often don't know they even used it in the first place. Again, scary thing, huh?
Yeah, it is.
How do you know if someone has overdosed on fentanyl or an opiate for that matter? The most important and dangerous symptom to look for is hypoventilation. I know that's a big word. That basically means someone who is not breathing enough or at all. All right, this happens because opiates hijack the brain and tells it it doesn't need to tell the body to breathe. So basically the opiates take control and your brain, which tells us to breathe, decides you don't need to breathe.
Wow.
So therefore, that's how the opiates work. Well, someone has overdosed on an opiate, they are unconscious and cannot be encouraged to breathe. This lack of breathing is called unconscious. If anyone uses alone or does not know their supply is contaminated with fentanyl, the risk of a fatal overdose even goes up higher.
Sure.
Okay? If someone shows signs of overdosing, this is what you need to know. That person needs something called, most of us know it as Narcan.
Right.
Okay, I'm not going to say the big name, but which is usually in a nose sprays form. This is given when someone is suspected of taking an opioid and is not breathing. If you or someone you know uses opiates, you can get Narcan as a precaution that can potentially save someone's life. However, you need to be aware that it's not just like so easy to get, and it's not like something you just want to keep on hand all the time because it
Just don't do this stuff.
Yeah, exactly. But you can go to the pharmacy and ask them about it. Sometimes insurances may cover for people that take opiates routinely. All right. While Narcan is crucial to saving someone's life in the event of an opiate overdose, that person still needs to be seen by a doctor. So just because they take Narcan and they're back with you, doesn't mean they're fine, because they may not be. So, even though they'd received it by a friend, family member, or concerned bystander, it's very, very, very important because Narcan only lasts so long in the system and doesn't last as long as whichever opiate is in someone's body. You get what I'm saying? So, if someone is given Narcan at home and 911 isn't called, the Narcan will wear off in the system and the opiate will be able to take its place again on the areas of the body that responds to opiates. And that person will be right back to having another overdose. All right? Narcan is used so that a person who overdosed on an opiate stays stable long enough to get to the hospital. Okay? Narcan saves lives, but it should not be used as the only treatment for opioid overdose. I'm going to sneeze in a minute and just warn you.
Okay. Feel it coming on.
Excuse me. All right. Now back to fentanyl. Again, although people may not be looking for fentanyl as their drug of choice, it's been found in just about any street drug out there. This includes heroin, cocaine, bars are Xanax. Unless you get Xanax from the pharmacy, that pill is more likely than not to be pressed with fentanyl. OxyContin, same situation as Xanax, or any other pills you get that isn't from the pharmacy, though not as commonly found as in the types listed before. Fentanyl has shown up in weed supplies. Okay.
Okay.
So guys, listen to what I'm saying. I wanted to leave you with this. First off, Narcan does save lives. So if you or a loved one uses any kind of opiate or are at risk of using drugs contaminated, you may want to look into getting some. Call 911 as you give someone Narcan if you're doing that. Make sure you know what you're doing
Sure.
if you're going to have this. Do not use alone. Someone sober needs to be there to call 911 in case of overdose. This goes for any drugs, okay, guys? I mean, even if you're like, well, it's a legal drug or it's alcohol, just be wise in your choices and your decisions. Always have that designated person with you because you just don't know. And right now, like I said, fentanyl is just out there, and even some of our common drugs have fentanyl in it, and that's what's even scarier. So be mindful that anything you get on the street is likely at this point contaminated with fentanyl, an extremely powerful opiate responsible for most opiate-related deaths. All right? So please remember these points and take precautions to keep you and your loved ones safe. I know this is a harsh topic, but I think it's good to be aware that it's that fentanyl is one of the number one killers right now.
I think it's scary stuff, and people are easily dismissive of it, like, oh, I don't know anybody that does this. Odds are you might.
You truly might.
and again, like you said, it's not because they went looking to mess with it. They got a hold of it
somewhere
other
else. Yeah, absolutely. It was inside of something, and they didn't know it. And I guess, when you look at that, just the numbers of how strong it really is, that's really scary.
Yeah, it is.
It really is. So be aware, encourage your kids, talk, be open about it. Like, again, nobody needs to be doing drugs, right?
Yeah, right. You don't take a pill unless mommy and daddy give it to you.
That's exactly right. Don't take pills unless mom and dad give it to you, okay? Unless it comes from a pharmacy. If some of these, just be aware of all of this because you just don't know. And like I said, with our world changing the way it is, it's just fentanyl is everywhere, and it truly is becoming one of the number one causes for drug overdose in this time. So, again, I wanted to take a brief minute today to talk about that and look at that and just help people to just be aware that fentanyl's out there. It's real. Yeah. It's not something we just hear about or, like, oh, that's not going to affect me because it very likely is affecting you in a way that you don't even realize, guys. Yeah. As always, at Hope Counseling, we're here for you with offices in Comanche, Eastland, Dublin, and Hamilton. 325-356-1105. If there's anything we can do, please know that we're here for you. If you have loved ones that are struggling with addiction, we can always help them. Or we've got resources as well as being able to provide one-on-one support. So again, 325-356-1105. Hope Counseling, Comanche, Eastland, Dublin, and Hamilton.
All right, Cynthia Newton, as always, thanks for stopping by.
Thank you. We'll see you next Monday.
All right.
Who to trust with your car hasn't always been an easy decision.
Yeah,